My last book was The Lolita Effect. It's about media representations of girls' sexuality, and it's a trade book for general audiences. People do ask me a lot why I wrote on that topic, and actually I started writing about it a long time ago. My research interests are gender and sexuality in the media, and especially media representations of women's bodies and women's sexuality. And so I started publishing on that topic, gosh, I guess it was 1995 or something like that. I started out looking at media aimed at adult women, but then a whole spate of studies came out in the mid-1990s about girls and the detrimental effects of culture on girls. Then I began looking at media magazines, especially fashion and beauty magazines aimed at teenage girls, and if anything, those results were even more depressing, that the objectification and the focus on the male gaze and so on was just relentless. After I had done some textual analysis, I got curious about how girls were actually responding to those messages, so I went into middle schools. I did ethnographic research with teenage girls who were 13 or 14 years old, because all the research indicates that 13 is actually when the problems begin to set in. So the Lolita Effect was kind of the culmination of all of that research. I decided to write it as a book, and I really pondered whether to write it as an academic or a trade book, and I finally decided that it was the kind of information that needed to get out there, not only to girls themselves, but also to people who cared about girls. So it attracted a huge amount of attention. It was reviewed in all kinds of places, the Washington Post, Ms. Magazine, the Guardian in England. It's been translated into a few languages. It also got me on television a lot. I was on Irish national television on a show called The Frontline. They flew me over to Dublin for that. I was on the BBC in London. I was on a variety of shows in the United States, Martha Stewart Living Radio and so on, and I guess Dr. Phil as well, which I had to think a lot about, but I finally decided, well, I wrote the book, to get out to people, and Dr. Phil gets his message out to a very wide range of people, so I went on the show and talked about the book. So, yeah, it's been a little sort of surprising, the amount of attention the book's gotten, but the reception has been very, very positive, so I'm glad I did it.